Hey guys, it's Shannon from iHeartRadio Canada, joined by Chrissy Metz. How are you? So good to see you.
I'm great. How are you? Thank
I'm
you for
doing
having me.
yeah, no problem. Congratulations on the Christmas song that you came out with. I was so excited to see that you did a cover.
Thank you. Yeah, it's my mom's favorite Christmas song. So, seeing as I'm not going to be home for Christmas, I figured I'd sing the song I'll Be Home for Christmas.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you.
What was her reaction to it?
Oh, she loved it. She teared up a bit, and especially because I won't be coming home. There was many, many moons when I was a very, very broke actor, who couldn't go home for Christmas, and so now that I can, but now I can't. It's a little difficult, but I know everybody's going through that. So it was one of those songs that it just felt really timely right now.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure that'll connect with a lot more people who maybe not be able to spend the holidays
Yeah,
with their families. So that's
yeah.
so nice. This is, and it's so great to see. Like, it sounds amazing. Do you think that this could be the start of like maybe a potential Christmas album we could see in the future?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I love me some Christmas music. I really do. So yeah, that'd be great if it was the start of something like, yeah, that would be awesome. You know, I got to get my own album done first before I venture into a Christmas album. But yeah, I hope so.
That's true. We'll save it for next year. Yeah,
Yeah.
congratulations. Working on your debut country album. Was country always just a genre that you're like, I have to conquer this? Or why country?
Oh goodness. I mean, I grew up in the South and I just love the not only the musicianship and the instruments that are used in country music, but the storytelling. And I've always wanted to tell stories, and it just sort of felt like the natural progression and genre to go into. And I've always listened to it, but it's hard because so many different genres are influenced by so many different genres, and so I don't know. It just country just felt right. It just felt exactly right. So.
That's a good fit. That's awesome. How have you found the creating process with the pandemic and everything? Has it made it a lot harder, a lot more difficult?
Well, I had a lot of the album already written, and then we were just deciding what tracks are going to make the actual cut. But writing on Zoom, y'all, it is not easy. I mean, as you could tell, like if you start to sing over somebody or talk over somebody, like you can't hear that person. And then there's like the weird reverb of the piano or the guitar. So it's sometimes challenging, but I think, A, there's always a silver lining, but B, some really good stuff comes out of a Zoom, right? And I wrote a really great song that'll hopefully make the album called New Love. And we wrote it, not kidding, on a Zoom in less than an hour. And I was like, oh, okay. So those things do happen. But again, it can be challenging. But we like a challenge.
Yeah.
We like a challenge.
I know I get Zoom fatigue just from being in like work meetings. So I always think that for singers, like how can you
I know.
whole music making process? That's insane.
I think it's different when like you feel like you have to be present in like a work meeting as opposed to, okay, this is a creative process. It's not going to go. There's not, some sort of form. It's just like, what are we feeling? What's going on? But yeah, Zoom fatigue is a real thing.
Yeah.
Oy, oy, oy. Yeah.
Do you find that you learned a lot about yourself through this album making process?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I feel like I have a lot to learn. But I also, I think so much of the triumph is just sort of like suiting up and showing up. There are times where I'm like, I'm not a great writer and I'm not this and I'm not that. And I'm like, Chrissy, just show up. Just show up and see what happens. And then you realize like, oh wow, I did contribute this great line or this melody. Or sometimes we have to push past the fear because it's holding us back because we're so afraid of like what could or couldn't happen. And I'm like, just do it. So I mean, that's sort of like the overall broad stroke of what it is, but it's also just fun to be creative with people who are creative and like-minded humans that you're like, wow, something that never existed 4 hours ago now exists and could potentially change someone's life and probably your own. So, and it's cathartic. It's like therapy on therapy on therapy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you and Mandy Moore ever talk about like singing and songwriting since that's so much part of her life as well?
Yeah, we do. We do talk about it. She's just finished her album and was going to be going on tour at the same time I was. And we chat about just sort of the process because she's been doing it obviously a very long time. Very different worlds and genres that she's sort of crossed over into. But yeah, I asked her, I said, like, so like, how do you choose? How do you choose what songs that should, and she said, you should just do what makes you happy. and do what feels good and feels right. And like that seems so simple, but it's a little, more difficult.
Yeah.
Easier said than done.
Yeah.
So
It's easy to just like trust your gut and go with it and be like, okay, let's hope for the best, right?
right. Right.
Totally. This Is Us is a show that conquered the pandemic. And I think for a lot of people, that was the first time that we ever saw it like represented on TV. How did it feel for you to have your character go through some of the same things that we're all dealing with in regular life, like the pandemic and also like the Black Lives Matter movement?
Right. I thought it was essential that we talked about both of those massive pandemics. Social injustice is a pandemic, absolutely. And, everything that's happening in our world and how we navigate it, because nobody knows, we're all in this together, and there needs to, art imitates life. And I think that we were so excited and also felt really challenged to take both of these topics on that are, I was like, how could we not talk about them? Like, that would be crazy to me. And I think that so many people look to the Pearsons to sort of as a blueprint of their lives, or how do I handle a particular crisis or a situation? And I was like, yes, the Pearsons are going to come through, and imperfectly, mind you, because that's what they do. And I think that's what people realize is like, we are all the same. And was able to bring up a lot of conversation that I think people, whether in their own families, their own friend groups, their neighborhoods, were able to have, and still are having these conversations that nobody knows how to have. And that particular scene with Randall and Kate, very, very important stuff going on. And so, yeah, I'm really grateful that Dan and the writers decided to take it on and take it head on, because that's the only really way you could do it. So, yeah, I'm grateful for it. And it's been interesting, very, very emotional, obviously, and uncertain. And because we have been going through it as humans and then bringing that into a character, it's great.
Yeah. Do you feel like an added responsibility or like pressure because you are like having these storylines for so many other people?
I don't know if I feel responsible, or, there's an added pressure only in that we want to get it right for people who are experiencing the injustice and have been forever, and enlightening people to have these conversations that are really just difficult, no matter what side you're on, because you have to draw your boundaries, but you also hopefully can be open-minded enough to say, oh, have I done this? Or, oh my goodness, have I thought this? Or how do I change this? And how do I make it not about me? So it's delicate in that it's so absolutely important that we want to get it right.
Totally. So. Yeah. And thank you for being a part of that, because it is. It's so important.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks.
I saw that you got a tetherball pole. I want to talk about that.
Girl.
I had one as a kid, and I remember people like calling me a nerd for it. So thank you for bringing it back and making it cool.
First of all, you are not a nerd. Second of all, let those people challenge you to a tetherball game, and then they can call you a nerd, because it is not easy. I'm not kidding you. I know I definitely sprained 2 of my fingers and potentially broke them. I don't know. But it's cool. Dangerous, but cool.
I know that ball can like whip around.
Oh yeah. And then the cord, the rope.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, seriously? How are you?
Bad news bears sometimes. Better? I can bend my pinky down. Oh yeah, it's better. Better now.
That's painful. That's horrible. Okay, we're gonna do quick rapid fire Christmas questions, really quick. Okay. Yeah, ready? First thing that comes to mind. Eggnog, yes or no? Yes? Wow, you're quick. Okay, real or fake tree? Real or fake tree?
I have a fake one, but I love real ones.
Ham or turkey for Christmas?
Turkey.
Turkey? Okay. Giving or receiving gifts?
Oh, giving.
Yeah, I assumed you'd say that. Are you an early or last minute shopper?
Early.
Nice. Good. Best Christmas movie out there?
Oh my goodness. My favorite is, I think, The Night They Saved Christmas. It's an old movie. And then I just recently watched Home Alone. So I kind of like my favorite again.
Nice. That's awesome. That's it.
Yay!
Thank you, Chrissy, so much. You are a delight.
Of course.
I appreciate it.
Of course, my pleasure.